Good morning! How are you today? Happy Valentine's Day, baby girl. Smile! Smile! Good morning. Good morning.
All right. So first things first, we gotta put this little tiny monster, hello, in some clothes that have open feet because
She's learning to crawl. Yes, she is.
and she needs the open feet in order to gain traction, or else she slips on her face. So that's what we're gonna do.
See, I look so cute. Yes, I do. Oh, and there she goes. And there's Riley. Yep.
Usually we get downstairs a lot earlier than 9 o'clock. But apparently today Mommy got to sleep in. Hi, baby.
Did you sleep in?
Yes. And so the first thing, of course. Oh, dark house. Boop. Every person in the world needs to do it in the morning. Boop. I'm Presli. This is Rayli. Don't know if you can see her or not, but she's right here. I decided that it was finally time that we start to do a vlog. Come here, baby. Because A, I have all the time in the world. B, my husband begs me to. C, his reasonings are very good because he wants the babies, baby one, and future babies, to be able to see life when they were small, which is awesome because that's just something that we don't get to see. I have pictures from when I was little, but no like videos or anything like that for sure. And during my pregnancy, like whenever I would ask my mom anything about like her pregnancy with me or anything like that, she couldn't tell me because she can't remember that far back. But if I was to have a video or a YouTube channel with just a bunch of videos from my kids' lives and from my pregnancies, talking about them, I'm gonna have all the details for like ever, you know? And considering these videos can't be taken and just held on your computer because they take up so much space, YouTube's the way to go. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm going to, I thought we'd start with talking about us, who we are, for everybody who doesn't know, because it is gonna be on the internet, so might as well. Again, I'm Presli. This is Rayli. She's a princess. My husband's name is Austin. He is in the Army. We've been in the Army about 2 years now, and almost 2 years. At the end of May, it'll be 2 years. And right now it's only February 14th. We love it. No complaints. He's currently in the Q course. If you don't know what that is, Google it. So he's just been training this entire time. Like literally since the day we've been in, he's been training. So he's actually finally going to graduate in May. So that'll be awesome. And we should be moving back to our home, which is Washington State, by November for us. But then he probably won't be moving back till from a year from today. Not today, but February next year. This is Rayleigh's playground, so these are her toys. She loves them, and I have to be sitting in her playground with her for her to be happy with being in her playground, which is just stupid because literally she has more toys than any child I've ever seen. Anyways, so military, blah, blah, blah. We met in high school. Austin and I did. We actually very much did not like each other at all. We actually dated each other's friends, so that was interesting. But we didn't get together until my sophomore year of college. He was also in college, but he was doing like the community college thing first. And I was at WSU, and he like hit me up one weekend to come stay at my house, my apartment for Halloween weekend, which is like, you know, it's just the weekend that Halloween would have been on, but even if it was in the middle of the week, and it's like a huge party weekend. And I was kind of seeing somebody else at the time, and I usually stayed over there on the weekend, so I was like, yeah, no problem. Come stay at my house. I don't really care, because I won't be there. So he came and stayed, and we ended up hanging out like a lot, much more than we either of us would have assumed we would have hung out. It was kind of more just like, yeah, I was like being nice by letting him stay because he didn't want to stay at his friend's frat. But we ended up hanging out a lot. That was the end of October. We kind of like talked around Thanksgiving. Not really though. And then it was more in December, like right before he was leaving to New Zealand he was going to study abroad, that we actually started to talk. And then we were like, just talked the whole time he was gone and yada, yada, yada. And then the rest is history, obviously. We ended up moving to Hawaii. I think it was like he got back from New Zealand. Riley, no. He got back from New Zealand like April, definitely April, because I took him out on his birthday. So April he got back. And then the end of that summer of that year, we moved to Hawaii. He actually got into school. He's like ridiculously smart. So it didn't matter that their application deadline was like months ago. He applied, still got in for the upcoming semester. I did not. I'm not that smart. He's very smart. But I got in the next semester, so I kind of was just flying back and forth, working and stuff like that. But I was pretty much there the whole time. But then I moved November of that year. I don't know the year. I think it was 2015. Could be 2016. I'm not totally sure. We moved, and then he stayed that entire year at UH, and I only went that semester. And then we moved home, back to Washington, and at some point, I don't know when, he decided he was going in. He's always wanted to be in the military, but I kind of was doing everything I could to talk him out of it. I didn't want him to. So I tried, but it failed miserably, obviously. But I'm not complaining about it now. I like it now. So when was that? He was gonna do like the National Guard, the Special Forces for the National Guard, but he like one day went and talked to a recruiter, and the recruiter somehow turned his whole entire brain around in one day to go active duty. So we had like this little business at home, and he just like comes into the office when I have patients in there, and he was like, oh, so I'm gonna go active duty now, and I'm probably gonna get quick shipped. No, I'm probably gonna get quick shipped. So blah 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 blah. And I was just like, okay. At this point, we're not engaged, we're not married, but like that's something we knew we wanted to do and we would do if he was leaving. And so I want to say that was probably the first week of May. He came in and said that, of 2017, and we were married by May 19th and he left by May 28th. It was insane. It was a whirlwind. I moved in with my mom. That was awesome. It was really great. Stayed with her for the whole time he was at basic, which was like 3 months or something like that. And he could call, I think it was like every 3 weeks on Sunday. So I literally, you know, sat by my phone waiting for him to call. And sometimes like they would get in trouble and he wouldn't even be able to call. So I'd literally be sitting by my phone all day long and then he wouldn't even call him. It was the worst. And then I went to Airborne. Oh, well, while he was at basic, he kind of told me before he left, and we like got married and we were talking about life and stuff, which is like huge. I feel like a lot of couples don't talk about like life, like the larger scheme of life, like what you really want out of it and when you want it to happen. People don't talk about timelines, even though they're really important. So like he knew I wanted to have a baby right away. Like I would have had a baby then. Like, get me pregnant. Like, oh, we got married on the 19th? Great, let's get pregnant on the 20th. Like, if that was possible. But he wanted to wait until after the Q course. And like I said, he's still in the Q course and our daughter's 7 months old. So while he was at basic, I ended up sitting down and writing a really persuasive letter. And it worked. He replied to the letter and said, yep, let's try to have a baby. So I decided to cut the video where I did because it ended up getting just way too long. So the next video will be all about my pregnancy and all that jazz. Thank you for watching our very first video. I'm just learning how to do this, so don't judge me. Thanks. Say bye. Give kisses.